How's it, everyone? Hope you're having a fantastic day. Welcome to How's It Cousins, the podcast where we talk about the unique people of the world and the interesting things that they do. We talk about it, we relate to it, and hopefully we can relate it to you, the listener. On today's show, we're going to be bringing it back a little bit. A few weeks ago, maybe a month ago, depending on when you're listening to this and when we post it, we had Jules Juke on, who is a semi-professional, we'll say DJ. But as a small-time DJ, we got to learn a little bit about the ins and outs of mixing music and the different theories of DJing and how they work. So this time, we're going to take a little bit different aspect of DJing and look from another angle. And we're going to highlight a little more mainstream DJ. And I'm referring to DJ Khaled.
How's it, Chris? Are you talking about DJ Khaled? Yo, I'm down to talk about DJ Khaled. Let's do this.
Aloha, Alvin. Thanks for popping into the DJ Khaled episode.
Yeah, man. I'm always down to talk to you. It's always fun. Yeah, let's do it.
All right. If you like what we're hearing so far, keep in mind we are part of the How's It Network. You can check us out at howsitnetwork.com. If you like these episodes, you can listen to the other ones on all the popular podcast services, including Spotify now. I need to keep saying that because Spotify is huge.
Spotify, yay.
That's right. Follow us on social media at How's It Network, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Check out our social feeds. Alvin, you got anything you want to plug before we dive into DJ Khaled?
Yes. My name is Aloha Alvin, and you can find more of me at alohalvin.com.
All right. So, DJ Khaled. I wanted to talk about DJ Khaled because, like or unlike some of the other DJs of the world, DJ Khaled is kind of a known name, but not because you can easily recall the music or anything like that. But I think that DJ Khaled is more well known for the fact that if you hear DJ Khaled in the background, you might or might not be able to recognize that song.
Yes, totally agree.
But if I asked you right now to name a DJ Khaled song, could you name one?
Okay, that feels a little rhetorical, but I'm just going to be honest. No, I really can't. Nope.
Honestly, see, so even me, DJ Khaled is known as, he's a DJ type, so he does the beats, he does the background, he does the producing.
Yes.
If you ever heard the We the Best Music, that's his company, that's his brand, right? And he says it the same way in all the different songs that he does. But because it's all collaborations, I can't really recall exactly one song either. If I heard it, I'd be like, oh yeah, DJ Khaled song.
There's that saying, like, say there's a pizza and I want a slice and you want a slice and we're down to one slice. Someone could say, hey, your name isn't on it. You know, that childish thing. Well, I feel like DJ Khaled songs, his name is literally in it. You don't have to wonder. You know it's him. DJ Khaled. We got it, man. We got it.
Exactly. Okay. It's almost on the line of if you remember Jason Derulo.
See,
but Jason Derulo is actually singing the song.
Okay. Ooh. Now that okay. See, now this is something I was thinking about when you were saying correctly the DJ Khaled thing. And okay, so there was a while back where you couldn't get around this. Yeah, right? And
exactly.
Okay. Now, The funny thing is, I don't think he ever says Little John, or whatever. Like, I don't think he does. But
I don't think so either.
I'm impressed that I actually know him now that I think about it. There's no reason. Because I don't think his name shows up in the tagline either. It's not Usher feature. Does it?
I think it does.
Oh, geez. I don't even remember now. Okay, that makes sense then. That makes more sense.
So the point I'm trying to make is, a lot of times the person composing the music or doing the quote unquote DJing for these singles and these tracks is kind of in the background. DJ Khaled decides that he wants to be in the foreground. He wants to be featured. He wants to be that person. He wants to say DJ Khaled on every track that he's on. And that's cool. Nothing wrong with that. There are other producers that famously came to the forefront, like P. Diddy. Jay-Z was a rapper first, but he does a lot of producing now. You don't hear him say his name during all the other people's tracks, but it's interesting to see someone like DJ Khaled, who I think began as an actual DJ, and I'm sure still does it.
That makes sense.
But now is a bigger producer and now features himself in these songs. I wonder, we had Jules Juke on before. I don't think she throws a name tag into the beginning of a track. I mean, maybe,
Okay.
but I don't think she produces these kind of singles either.
I got
We have to ask. We have to ask next chance.
true. I gotta throw this at you then. Okay, so I had a friend before. We were talking about music, and I guess we had that moment of, yeah, who sings that? I don't know. And the equivalent, I told him, like, so let's just pretend his name was also Chris to simplify. I'd be like, okay, you know what? People crap on rappers for this, but the reality is it's actually really convenient. For instance, yo, I'm MC Alvin and that's my man Chris. Let's get it. Like, so you are literally told the names of the people involved. Now, again, it's a weird thing in a way because no one else really does it. But man, it's so convenient. So a long time ago, I heard a song. I didn't know who it was. For the record, I love Ariana Grande. Hey, good stuff. She was singing, and I didn't know who she was. I just heard an awesome song with an awesome voice. But then I hear a woman rapping, and I'm like, okay, cool. First of all, there aren't that many, I think, so it kind of narrows it down. But second of all, she says IGGY, and I'm like, well, I know how to spell. See, like I can
Yeah.
spell. So then instantly I know how to look it up. Boom, I got it. Now all of this is kind of moot because Shazam exists now. But that was so helpful to me because otherwise I'd be like, dude, I don't know who that is. I couldn't figure it out.
So no, there's a case for saying your name in the song is actually helpful to some degree.
No,
Maybe.
it really is. Because, okay, like, so this is from the writer world and this is just for stuff in general. Let's say I wrote a 10-page thing. It's a really great thing. I'm going to hand it to someone else. For some reason, the first page gets lost. It happens, shit gets ripped off, whatever. Well, the second page is blank. I mean, well, not blank, but it doesn't have any of my contact info. Oops, no one can contact me now. See, that's stupid. So the advice they give is every single page, name or whatever you want to put on it, contact info, whatever you want to put. So it's that way, so it's clear. Everything's page numbered. It's easy to sort through. It's easy to work with. You make it easier for the other side to figure you out, not harder.
I get you. So that's very interesting because the next point I'll make is that, yeah, it's good to paste your name all over your own work. No, but
Paste is a good word. That's all.
Yeah, that's really what it is, right?
It is.
The interesting part about it is DJ Khaled actually goes total metal with it, and he gets his name out there in all other sorts of ways. The most recent thing I've seen on the internet is that DJ Khaled and tangentially Floyd Mayweather Jr., that's a separate thing, but they had backed a cryptocurrency company, like publicly, very publicly, on social media. And apparently what happened is that company was full of bullshit and lies. And their ad with it was months ago. Okay. But the company's full of bullshit and lies.
Okay.
And the company folded, and apparently they outed a bunch of people of a lot of money. Now, follow on is that upon that happening, the SEC, who kind of regulates investments and stocks and things like that, and in this case, crypto to a certain degree, they actually did an investigation and found that DJ Khaled and, again, tangentially Floyd Mayweather Jr., did not disclose that the company that they were backing or that they were advertising actually paid them off. And technically, they're either supposed to do that, or I think SEC regulation is that you cannot invest in the company you're backing. Like, you can't have your own money invested in it. And also, if you're going to back it, you have to disclose that, it's an ad, right? And they didn't do that. So they actually got hit with decent fines for doing that.
Interesting.
But that begs the question of, why are these dudes, a boxer and a DJ, getting into crypto? Is it just a fad? I mean, it probably was, right?
Ooh.
Are you into crypto? You follow that shit? Like,
well, so one, I absolutely invest. Two, my investing is very boring. Like, it's extremely boring.
Oh, mine too, dude. Mine too.
It's the most boringest way you can invest. And on top of that, I'm super consistent, aka more boring. So it's all boring. Okay, wait. To get to the question though, I will say this. Okay, no. Before I get to that, I will say what I thought of, which was, I think, and I'm not sure because I don't know the facts that well, but I think 50 Cent. 50 Cent was going broke. Something went really bad for him. I don't know. Maybe he spent all his money, maybe owed money. I don't know. But then someone said, "Surprise, you're a millionaire." And then he's like, what does that mean? I lost all my money, didn't I? So what happened was 50 Cent put out an album. And that album, he said, do not buy this with normal money. You pay me in Bitcoin. Go. And then people bought the stuff with Bitcoin. So he had essentially a stack of Bitcoins or whatever, a stash of Bitcoins. And then because sometimes Bitcoin jumps really high, by the way, I do not encourage anyone to buy Bitcoin, but sometimes it jumps really high. And then he was a millionaire.
Interesting.
So
I've never heard of that before, but that sounds pretty. That's hilarious, actually.
Man, I hope that's not fake. I think I got that from the news. But yeah,
interesting.
Just to clarify, and this is the kind of crap that gets people super interested. There's a guy out there. I don't know who he was, but he had like $1,000, and this guy, just a random guy, he said, "You know what? I'm gonna put my $1,000 in a Bitcoin. All right, let's do it." And then whatever, right? And then a year or two later or whatever, the stuff explodes and the guy's a millionaire. So he, of course, people are asking him like, what's your secret? Stuff like that. And his whole deal was essentially, essentially his life savings. I put my life savings into Bitcoin and now I'm a millionaire. You guys should do the same. One, Bitcoin has gone high. Two, it's not that simple. I believe right now it's around the 6,000 mark. And I believe its highest was like 20 grand. So yes, if you bought it when it was $2, yeah, you're sitting pretty. But if you bought it when it was 20 grand, you might not be so happy right now. It's not that simple. But anyway, I have to assume that 50 Cent story, which I believe is true, I'm pretty sure I got that off the news. The 50 Cent story had to at least have part of it. Can you imagine if someone told you that story and you were a fellow music individual? Like, okay, let me look into this. So I can see them being interested in that. I'll tell you this. There's one guy I know, smart man, very smart man, and he'll ask me my opinion on Bitcoin and stuff like that. And I'll tell him, stay the hell away. And he'll say, Alvin, I agree, because logically that's correct. But you can see the gears turning in his mind, like, damn, I still want to pay for some Bitcoin. When we had that conversation, it was at 10 grand. And I told him, all right, let me ask you this. Are you prepared to put $10,000 down on? Because that's how it's going to work. I don't think you can buy less than that, but even if you could, I don't recommend it. But I'm like, are you prepared to put $10,000 down on this? And then he dialed it back a little, like, okay, you're right. That's a lot of money. I'm like, that is a lot of money. And this is not normal investing. It's not like buying a stock or a blue, whatever, or a T-bill or something. Like
it's incredibly volatile, right? It's more volatile.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes. Are there rare cases of that guy? Yeah, that guy with the 1,000 turned into a millionaire. That exists. But there's the opposite of that. And I don't know where those guys are. I don't think they want to be on the news, but that has to exist.
It's the dramification of that thing, right? Like I looked at Bitcoin when it was first like being talked about. And I even tried to set up a computer to do the mining of it.
Fascinating.
Which is a horrible rate, by the way, as one would expect. You'd have to spend a ton of money on a powerful machine that could mine Bitcoin even back then. And this was back when it was not even in the thousands.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, a long time ago. And even then I said, wow, this is cool. But for me personally, granted, I was a lot younger. I didn't have the capital to invest in that kind of thing. I'm like, yeah, way too volatile. And I don't think that I could stand to the loss if it was that bad. I'm much more of a, play it safe type person. I actually read an article very recently that is talking about there's going to be a blockchain / well, not Bitcoin, but cryptocurrency phone coming out that you can only buy with Bitcoin.
Okay.
Very cool. And it mines Bitcoin. And it mines Bitcoin. Okay, yeah, go ahead. Go.
Okay. So I am an Overwatch player. That's like the only game I play. And sometimes I'm on the forums. And then there's stuff. So there's this skin you could buy for this one character. Doesn't matter. It's donations, all that good stuff. Doesn't matter. And then this guy, he says, hey, man, I want the skin. And they're like, cool. Pay the money and you get it. Overwatch has loot boxes, but this is different. You could buy this skin. So the guy goes, you know what? I'll buy it, but let me buy it in Bitcoin. And then he starts doing this speech, right? Like, yo, if I pay in Bitcoin, you can convert that money and you can convert it and blah. It's really convenient. Once you convert it, you can blah, blah, And then someone else is like, why are you doing this in Bitcoin? He's like, well, I'm only paid in Bitcoin. Wow, red flags up the butt. Okay. And anyway, it's like, so the counterpoint, which I think is perfect, is okay, fine. You're saying it's really convenient, convert your effing Bitcoin and turn it into dollars and then go buy the skin. That's all you got. Oh, well, blah, blah, blah. So it's not that simple. And that's a big part of it too. One of the things I was telling the people who asked me about Bitcoin is, let's say I had literally $1 million in Bitcoin. That's a thing. It happens. I want my 1 million. What do I need to do? Well, first of all, you can't get it.
No, you can't. You have to sell it.
Yeah.
Someone's got to buy it, basically.
Correct.
In a nutshell.
Correct. However, it's not that simple either. I want to say in other situations, you could just say, here's my 1 mil, hand me the whatever, In this case, Bitcoin has its own rules where let's say I wanted 1 million. They'd be like, no, you get 2,000. I'm like, the fuck is this? I want 1 million. Yeah, I know. So today you get 2,000. Tomorrow, if you want to sell again, I'm like, what do you mean sell again? You have to go through their hoops as well. There's additional hoops. Of course, they don't talk about, but it's not that simple. It's my main point. That's all. It's just not. It sounds great and it's not that simple.
Interesting. So now to dial it back, it's interesting that so you and I talk about, wow, it's kind of risky and a lot of people get fucked out of their money, but
yes,
it's interesting then to see that these celebrities will take those type of deals, right, from these kinds of companies. Ooh. And maybe it's just for the quick promo and the quick dollar that they'll get. If like a Bitcoin company is going to pay you $100,000, like, hey, here's $100,000. Can you promo my stuff? Can you shout out my company, my blockchain? And these guys, even though it will fuck their fan base, or it could fuck their fan base potentially, or at least we'll say the more conservative parts of their fan base, they'll still do it. And I wonder if they have a team of people that would advise them for or against that, or they just on their own make that decision and be like, yeah, sounds good. I'm sold by these dudes telling me that they're gonna make people millionaires because their currency is gonna take off and skyrocket. Just like how the romanticized version of a guy who turns 10,000 to 50,000.
Right, totally. I know someone. She has a sister. And the sister was calling this woman and saying, yo, look how badass this is. You should come join me and do these things. My investing is great. And I'm like, oh, wow. Like all the stuff I'm hearing, that does sound great. Wow. So, here's, it's like, here's home run A, here's home run B. I'm like, damn, home runs all the time. And then I asked, well, about the times when she struck out? Crickets, just crickets.
Exactly.
No one talks about that. There's just crickets. No. I get it. Of course it sounds cool. Why wouldn't I want my 1,000 to turn into 1 million? Of course I do. But man, there's so many loopholes. This is my biggest caveat. All right. Like I always think about this and it is factually true. So right now there's people who ransom other people, like first. Okay. So yep. One other thing. Yeah. And then they say, you don't pay me in money. You pay me in Bitcoin. I know that there were some drug related things. Yo man, just pay me in Bitcoin. Like, that by itself does not make it evil. It doesn't, or bad, but it makes me wonder what's up. And as I explained to a friend of mine, okay, so this was interesting. I am in Hawaii. I meet Hawaiian people. It happens. So one of my Hawaiian friends, he's like, hey, Alvin, I saw this thing and I want you to tell me your thoughts on it. I'm like, okay, so what is it? He has Hawaiian blood. Someone sent him a thing that says, by having Hawaiian blood, I will give you Bitcoin. Thank you for being amazing or whatever, positive letter. And then here's some free Bitcoin. So then he asked me, what are your thoughts on this? And I told him the drug dealer thing, which is factually true, dark internet, all that stuff. It's real. And he's like, oh, really? I'm like, yep. And then on top of that, exchanging is not real, not easy. He's like, oh, okay. So he had to step back and be like, yeah, what's up with this? And I even had to ask, like, how'd they get your info, man? And he said, Facebook. I'm like, oh, that makes me extra nervous about it now. But even if it was all on the up and up, it's still like, it's kind of weird. You don't really need it. Like, and the amount that they were offering wasn't much anyway. There's a quote that I really like, and I don't remember that well, but it's something like, if the product you're getting is free and everything is free, you are the product.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's the whole Facebook thing, right? Like, yeah. Facebook is free because it's got to make money somehow. So it's free for us, but it's got to do something with us so that it can sustain itself.
On that note, this might have just been from the Social Network movie, but I want to say I read this and heard this before, where Zuckerberg was like, hey guys, never, ever, ever will there be ads. Never. So you enjoy your Facebook. And I'm like, oh, that's a really nice thing. And if I don't really go on Facebook much, but if I recall, there's ads on it now.
Oh, everywhere.
Okay, that's what
fucking total pollution.
That's what I thought. Yeah. It just feels dirty. Yeah. Okay.
To tie it back, and even going more so on ads and promoting yourself and getting yourself out there, and the whole managing expectations. DJ Khaled famously or infamously, will say, did the show Hot Ones, which is a YouTube special show.
Okay.
And what it is a interview show to where while you're being interviewed, you're eating a series of 10 hot wings, and they get progressively hotter as you go along the route. I've seen a bunch of episodes of that show. As I understand, DJ Khaled was on the first season. Like, so he was one of the first people that got interviewed. Now, granted, I think that is because of his social media fame at the time, which we can go into a little later. Anyway, so during that show, many people have gone through it, even in season 1, and a lot of them finish it. They get all the way through the end. Now, granted, some guys, they don't eat the whole wing at the end. They're biting it, but they're still getting the hot sauce. They're still getting the smack in the face, right?
Mm-hmm.
So DJ Khaled, it's funny. He goes into this show and he starts eating the wings. And after like number 2, he's like, man, these are kind of hot, man. These are hot. And I think number 2 was like Tapatio or Cholula or one of those like sauces that's on like a restaurant table that everyone has. And he's just like, man, it's kind of hot. And then he starts going into, I don't really like spicy food.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And I'm watching this. I saw the episode and I'm thinking like, why the fuck are you even on this show, bro? Like,
yes.
What's going on? So it's out of 10. By number 3, he's like, I'm done. Like, I'm out. I'll do more questions. I'll do the interview, but I can't eat anymore, man. I was like, whoa, that's crazy. Like, that's like, you're not even trying. Now, what's funny is, to me, the concept of the show is you're going to be interviewed and you're going to eat spicy food. One would think that before you go on a show like that, you A, at least watch an episode, or B, you just get briefed by your PR team or whoever it is that you're going to have to eat some spicy food.
Yes.
Apparently, in this case, I don't know if that happened or not, but it didn't seem like it did, or it was all a facade and he's just doing the whole thing for public image and even failing to promote that fact and be on the infamous side of it.
I gotta throw this at you, man. So let's say I'm an incredible basketball player, but I don't know jack about baseball. And then they do that opening pitch thing. It's like, here you go, Alvin, throw the first pitch. I've seen enough of those, especially because people mock those people, to know that if you do it bad, get ready, your name's going to be everywhere. The thing about that is, if I had basketball skills, I could shoot a 3-pointer because I have basketball skills. You could like throw a baseball the way you throw a basketball, and it would at least get to the plate. Because I've seen,
maybe.
Well, you know what I mean. Like you could monkey something together. What I'm saying is, if you throw the ball, okay, like if the guy catching is at 12 o'clock and they throw it to 7, something is wrong. Now, either you've never thrown a ball in your life, or all that shit is planned. I say that because I've seen a couple where I'm like, wow, that looked really bad. Like it looked comically bad. And all I could think was, maybe it is on purpose. Because I don't watch that shit. Sorry, not to dump on that process. I just don't really watch baseball. And even if I did, the game's already on. I don't know the opening stuff. But that stuff makes the 10 o'clock news in Hawaii. And whenever it happened or wherever it happened, it was in Hawaii. So there's a coverage of it, right?
Now, granted, this is Hawaii. So the 10 o'clock news in Hawaii, there ain't a whole lot to talk about most of the time in the sports section. Let's be real.
Time zones are a thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Right. The good thing about a 10 o'clock news here is we can catch everything that happened on the mainland because it all passed already. But we don't have a whole lot of stuff here to talk about. So I'm sure that's what. Anyway, but aside, I see what you're saying. It makes sense. Like,
well, see, like imagine this. Okay, so Khaled goes on, and he could be a hot food master. Who knows? But if the plan is to go on and fail, that actually is kind of genius. Like, yo, I'm gonna wave the white flag. Oh, you guys got me. It's too hard for me, man. And then, hey, he's still there. Now, the flip side is those hosts were probably told, get ready, enjoy this cool segment. And instead, they're sitting there like, the fuck is going on? But Khaled's already there. So his name is already out there. And I'm assuming they promoted that stuff prior. I'm not saying he did, but that is a game plan I believe many people will undertake. Okay, like this. All right. I like public speaking. I spend time practicing that stuff. If I have a speech, I'm going to practice it. If I have to sing the national anthem, I will sing that song. I will fucking, first of all, I already know the words. But second of all, I'm going to prep it anyway. Because I'm not gonna go there and fuck it up unless that's the point. If you fuck up the words to the national anthem, you will be on the news. You will be on the news.
Stop.
Okay.
So are you saying or even postulating that Christina Aguilera did it on purpose?
Ooh, I don't remember who did it, but that's not just her. There's more than one.
No, there's more than one.
There's more than one.
I famously remember the Christina one because I was watching it live and I'm like,
Oh!
what the hell just happened?
Oh. Okay, that could be it. I don't know. That could be it. That's interesting. Hold on now. Let's play it the other way. This was either a little girl or a little boy. I don't remember. But this child was singing, I think, some other country's national anthem. But it was like, and the flag. And then you hit the crowd. The crowd gets in there. The crowd starts singing. And it's so nice because the crowd was like, don't worry, little guy. We got you. It's okay. You know, we know you're trying your best. We'll sing with you. And it's so sweet. You know, it's such a great moment. So again, not that the kid fucked it up on purpose, but who knows? The reaction changes per crowd. Maybe the crowd would be like, yeah, we got you, man. Like, that's a cool moment too. Once again, welcome to the 10 o'clock news.
Bro, if the kid fucked it up on purpose, then that's a whole nother.
That's pretty bad.
That's a whole other level of the engine, as we'll say from previous podcasts, right? The fucking engine at work. That would be crazy. I could see Khaled doing it. I could even see Christina Aguilera doing it. But a kid, like, holy shit! Like, who is controlling that?
True. Okay. But back to Khaled. If he ate 3 or 2.5, he had some. He did technically go on, and he did eat some. So. I don't know, you know?
He did answer the questions, but I will say, like, he's quite the personality, right? So he tends to answer questions in a non-direct way, I guess.
I'll say this. I am a sweaty guy. Straight up, I sweat a lot. So sometimes I'm doing something, whatever it is, and I know I'm going to sweat. That's just how it is. But also sometimes I sweat more than even I'm aware I'm going to sweat. So here's a great example. There's this girl I was dating a long time ago. There's a Thai place. She was like, yo, let's hit the Thai place. I'm like, okay. So we go in there. She orders, I order, whatever. And then I tell the waitress, yo, whoa, hold on. I know I'm in a Thai place. Please. I don't do spicy. Please make it mild. And the waitress is like, yeah, I got you. Don't worry about it. So she goes back. She comes out. There's new food or whatever. There's food to eat. I'm eating it. I'm like, this is delicious. Wow, it's hot. But it is delicious. And I remember saying, oh, it's kind of hot. Or the waitress said, yo, it's cool, right? I mean, it's hot, but you can deal. I'm like, I guess, whatever. And as I'm eating, because my date was trying to tell the waitress, it's cool. You know, you made a mistake. Let it be. We will eat it. Don't worry about it. And I feel that way too. I'm generally like, whatever. They're human. Don't worry about it. So anyway, my date is like, she's watching me sweat. And she's like, Alvin, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, it's okay. And she like 3 times, Alvin, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm like, no, it's okay. It's okay. Like, I don't know if you've experienced this, but if you've ever sweat so much that another human being had to apologize to you, like, that's a lot of sweat. So maybe Khaled, you know, he was like, I can do hot food, sure. And he's going to sweat, sure. Maybe he sweat more than you anticipated.
But
like, okay.
So I sweat a lot too. I'm a relatively sweaty person, especially with hot food. I agree with you 100%. Now, the question to you is, in that situation that you're talking about, did you not think that it was possible that the food will come out hotter than expected? Because it's a Thai place, right?
True.
Even if you order mild, isn't it possible that it could happen?
True. Totally. It would kick you in the face sometimes. Yeah,
exactly.
Totally.
Right?
Yes.
Because sometimes when we say Thai food mild, that's actually pretty hot if you don't like hot.
True.
Me personally, if I go to that kind of place, I kind of expect it to happen. Now, I like spicy food and I'll just sweat through it. I don't care.
See, exactly. Sorry, continue. Yes, but yes.
Now, the difference is, in that case, you thought, oh, you know, I'm going to try to mitigate this and I'm going to say, give it mild, right? In Khaled's case, no, there's no mitigating this. It's going to go from hot to mega hot, period. There's nothing around that. There's no mitigating. It's going to be mild. If you're a sweaty dude, you're going to sweat and you're going to fucking sweat a lot because it goes from hot to like through your pants. It's out of control.
Okay. First of all, through your pants. Thank you. Great visual. Okay, moving on. Okay. So here's the other thing. And if I was a celebrity, like a really famous guy, I do not want to be this guy. And what I mean by that is, so I got a drink. I got me a soda, and then there's crushed ice or something. And I said, or there's cubed ice. I'd be like, what the fuck? You can't get me crushed ice? Is it too hard for you? You're like, you know that happens, and you've seen those. You know, like, dude, stop being a dick. Your assistant got you a soda. Shut the fuck up, you know? My theory on my other just thought, not that it happened, I don't know. Maybe someone said, yo, Khaled, we got you. We'll get you milk. You're gonna fucking be drinking milk the whole time, so you don't worry, okay? And then he shows up. He's like, yo, where's my milk? Oh, sorry, man. We ran out of milk.
I'm gonna caveat you there in that
Okay.
they offer milk on the show. In fact,
Oh,
most people
okay.
will drink milk near the end and they give them milk. So maybe you're right, maybe that's true, but that means nobody watched a fucking episode of the show prior to saying, yeah, you can go on the show. To be fair, Khaled in that season was the last episode recorded. Last
Interesting.
episode debuted. My assumption is that they didn't record an entire season before posting it. I don't know if that's true. So it's possible he could have been one of the early recordings and just posted last, maybe. But one would hope that that's a asked question because every other celebrity on there gets milk.
Oh, okay. Okay, fair enough. Fair point. See, I don't know the deal, right? Man, I'm a sweaty guy. Like, I can't dump on someone for that. If it is sweat related, I can't dump on him. So who knows, you know?
We can give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe it was sweat related. Maybe it was.
Yeah.
Maybe it was bad PR preparation. Who knows?
Yeah.
But still, the overarching point is that
Yes.
you do music, bro. And I get it, you're famous, but you're kind of branching out to all these other things, which is cool, but it's not looking so good. And maybe that's the whole point. Maybe that's what you want, is to branch into these other avenues to grab other fans who are tangentially related to what you're doing. And even if you fail, your name's out there and it still gets you the views, the likes, the follows, whatever you want to call it. Interesting.
Yep.
I don't know if that's true. I assume it is just because of what's going on and the result, but who knows? He could be outsmarting all of us.
Now that's an interesting point. So Jessica Simpson, quote unquote, known
chicken
idiot,
of the sea.
Yes. Okay, hold on. Now, I was talking to this woman who she could have been lying through her teeth. I don't know, but she wasn't from Hawaii. And then we're talking about something. I mentioned Jessica Simpson, and then she says, "Oh, smart girl." I'm like, "Oh, that was an interesting just a random comment. What's up with that?" And she said, "Oh, I met her once. She's super bright. Like she's just smart all the time." And then I said, "Have you seen the show? Because she looks dumb on the show." And then this woman says, "Yeah, but is she actually dumb?" And my point is, I don't believe for 1 second that she is. However, Chicken of the Sea, they got promotions, they put in the video, that commercial ran all over the place. I never watched that show and I knew that commercial. All right, that commercial is everywhere. The flip side of that too is the editing can show it that way. I guess I swear a lot, but I don't swear every word. But if you were to edit my words, it would just be a string of F words and, all the other bad words. Again, it's like, is she dumb? No, I don't think so.
Dude, have you seen the people that do the commentary on like Real World and Road Rules, like, from the early days? They totally dump on the fact that, oh yeah, they just framed us with editing to be these characters. And we weren't actually like that during the shooting of all this stuff. And I assume the Jessica Simpson show was framed such that, she said something and it was just taken completely out of context, I assume.
See, now here's the other thing, okay? So I don't know if I'm a smart guy. I hope I am. But let's say I had a show and then the marketing guy comes up to me and says, "Alvin, I'm going to make you look dumb." And I'm like, "Well, I'm not so cool with that. I'm also going to make you a millionaire." Okay, I'm a little bit more cool with that now. See, like...
Exactly.
I don't know how much she got paid, but I'm sure it was some good fucking money. I don't think she's dumb at all. I really don't. And the editing, yeah. So this was interesting. So this is from Jaywalking, the Jay Leno thing. And a girl says this in the middle of it. I imagine it goes like this. "Do you know the answer to question A?" "Yes, the answer is A." "B?" "B is B." C. "D?" I don't know the answer to D. And then it's like, "Oh, look at this guy. He said he's a teacher and he doesn't even know the answer to D. What about all the questions he just answered?" "Oh, we're going to edit that out." Yeah. So the girl on the show with Jay in front of him or in front of her, she says, "You're going to edit this up, aren't you?" And you just start laughing like they already know. And it's just for fun. Of course, they're being silly. But editing, man, big difference. Yeah.
In that case, maybe I should edit this podcast to make us sound either smarter or dumber to get some views. How's about that shit?
Oh man. You know what? Don't edit this. Fuck. Wait, does he only swear?
Wait. Should I edit that or shouldn't I?
See, all Alvin does is swear all the
Uh,
time. That's it. That's all he does.
that's gonna replace the intro music from now on. Let me tell you, that's what's gonna happen.
See, exactly. See, there you go. Power of editing. Power of editing.
Exactly, the power of editing. To bring it back to Khaled again, even more so the power of, we'll say, editing or framing or whatever it is. So DJ Khaled, also somewhat famous for, it's funny how this came out because a comment he made a number of years ago on an interview was that he doesn't go down on women. It's a thing. And, that was taken, I don't know if it was out of context or not, but it was from years ago, some interview he did or something he made, and it was brought forward again, like highlighted in a video. Granted, I think it was because of the whole Me Too movement of the last number of years. So it framed him to be this, chauvinistic type dude. And I don't think he is or is not. I don't know. I don't think that he tried to combat that image either. From what I could see, I didn't research this completely thoroughly, but something you did a number of years ago, you said some shit. Years later, they're like, hey, look, this is what DJ Khaled said. And he'd be like, well, it's publicity, I guess, either way, because you didn't hear like an apology video from him. You didn't, they didn't, like all the other creators would be like, yo, yeah, I said that years ago, but I'm different now. I'm sorry, I don't think he gave shit.
Okay. So, all right, I got to talk about Stephen Colbert a little bit. All right, so right now, Stephen Colbert has a show on CBS, but a while back, he had the Colbert Report. Totally different thing. Now, I love that show. It was actually super offensive in a lot of ways because he would say dumb things, but then that was his character. So he would be stupid on the show, and then it was hilarious. Now, the thing is, his name, to my knowledge, actually is Stephen Colbert. So it was kind of weird because we're watching Stephen Colbert, quote unquote, on the show. But then I'm pretty sure that if I just sat down and had a drink with him, he would not be that guy. And from my viewings of his more recent show on CBS, he's a pretty normal dude. But someone asked him, and I remember, they're like, all right, Stephen, you are no longer going to be on Colbert Report, and now you're going to be on CBS. How crazy is the CBS guy going to be? And then Stephen Colbert was like, hey, man, that's an act. I put it on, but then some of it's also me. And then he even said something like, I don't know where the line is, so I guess we'll see. And he's fine, of course. I enjoy his show. But that was an interesting point because it wasn't like if I had on Freddy Krueger makeup, I'm not me. I'm the guy playing Freddy Krueger with the knives. But I take off the makeup and it's like, hey, I know Alvin. Yeah, man, let's go have a sandwich together or some shit. See, instantly you can tell the difference. But Stephen Colbert's face is always Stephen Colbert's face. So he's kind of always half-half. He's kind of that guy who's the weird Colbert Report guy, but he's also the normal guy. So DJ Khaled, he's always DJ Khaled. I don't think he ever wears a mask or anything. Nope. So he's always so he's always the same guy. Now, as a DJ guy, as just a man in our society, the guy Bible demands that we are all manly at all times, never cry, don't play with dolls, don't let your kids play with dolls kind of crap. That's just what our society tells us men are quote unquote supposed to do. So this statement, I don't know which one it was. Was it the Freddy Krueger mask or was it the normal guy? I don't know what his sex life is like. I'm not in there at all. I don't know. But that could have been the Freddy Krueger mask. You got to look cool. I'm doing an interview. Let me give that manly answer or something. Who knows?
I think the point of it is that either way, he gave the manly answer. And if I remember correctly, there were follow-on questions and he just kept going. He didn't just retract and just say it one time in that interview. Now, the point is that when this was highlighted during a societal movement, I don't think he cares if that's his persona or if it's perceived that is the real mask. And to drive it onto the Stephen Colbert point, I think that a lot of people who have to have a public image or appear on camera end up being exaggerated images of themselves.
Totally.
But still not 100% off of themselves either.
True.
So in this case, do I believe that he actually thinks that? If I'm being truthful, I think to some degree, yes.
Well,
no, I mean,
I can see that.
So I say that because I liken it to YouTube creators too, because they're also in entertainment, public facing, camera facing situations. And some of the creators that I watch and even got to personally meet when I went to the mainland for RTX and things like that, we had that conversation and they say it on camera too. And it's like, yeah, I'm just an exaggerated persona of myself on camera.
Hmm.
And you're not, it's not that we're not being genuine. A famous line from one of my favorite creators, Greg Miller, is that the one thing you'll get from me is that we deal in authenticity.
Nice, nice.
And for you and I, that's how I want us to be too. In that when you're listening to this show, we're dealing in authenticity. This is how we actually talk to each other. Now, granted, maybe a little bit exaggerated because we're getting into these topics and getting excited about them and also talking on a show. But this is actually how we talk to each other. It's a real fucking conversation. So, anyway, dialing it back. So DJ Khaled in that type of interview, when he says that type of answer, it could be exaggerated to some degree. He may be pumping it up to be sounding more chauvinistic than it actually is. But in some shape or form, I have to think that he kind of believes it a little bit.
I gotta mention something. This is with my ex because we're talking about rent, and she said something like, "Wow, it's really annoying that there's like a form to fill out. You know, I just want to fucking pay rent and live here or live there or whatever. Why'd I have to do this?" And I told her, well, it's for the landlord to know what the hell's going on. So they know you're not like a fucking crackhead. They know you're going to pay your rent on time. And she's like, oh, that makes sense. And then I said, although if you're a crackhead and you pay your rent on time all the time, it doesn't really matter that you're a crackhead. Now, I was kidding. I was kidding. I was kidding. But I mean, fucking in a business point of view, I'm sure a lot of landlords are like, hey, man, just don't make a lot of noise. Okay, you pay me every month, whatever. You know, I'm sure a lot of people feel that way. Now, the reason why I say all that is, all right, DJ Khaled, this commentary on the oral sex thing, has it affected your bottom line at all? No. Okay, moving on to point B. You know, like, that's just my theory on that. If it actually was affecting this bottom line, who knows? Maybe there would have been a comment. I don't know. You know?
It's true because that happened, right? And it happened, I forget how long ago or months ago it was, but that was it. Just like many other things in the news that come by, right? That was it.
Yep.
So one can assume that it couldn't have been that bad because the next story I read was the one I told in the beginning of the show about the SEC filing because they made no mention after that of like, oh yeah, he made this comment also.
Yes.
So I think those kind of things do just tend to pass unless they have a longer lasting impact, like you said.
Unfortunately, yes.
So the entire point that I'm trying to make is that we've gone tangentially on DJ Khaled's other things that he's done, but even after 45 minutes of show,
Okay.
can you name a DJ Khaled song yet?
This is terrible.
Or anything else about him?
Oh, okay. Hold on. Now, so this is kind of music related, but it's not. Okay, it's a movie about music, but he doesn't even sing in it. Pitch Perfect. All right. I
love Pitch Perfect, dude.
Dude, I'm a huge fan of that shit. It's great. It's great. Yeah. Think about it like this, right? Okay, so there was a skit on SNL, and I don't remember who was involved exactly, but it was cast member A and B, then Samuel L. Jackson, then random woman. I'm sorry, lady. She was a big deal, but I don't remember who it was. So it's something like this. The cast member says, hey, how are you guys doing today? You know, and then Samuel L. Jackson says, cool. Okay, moving on. Like literally, dude, just say one word and move on. Okay. So then he says cool or whatever. And then Samuel L. Jackson's like, hey, you know what I'm going to talk about next? And then the cast members, you could see like there's a point where they cut to the main guy and he's like, you're costing us a lot of money. You know, like, no, I don't like he even says that. And I'm like, I don't think that's a joke. I think he's trying to say, hey, person who's acting right now, please stop. And it's funny because then it was like, how about you, woman over there? And the woman, she does the zipper thing across her lips and she's like, mm-mm. And then they're like, okay, that ends our show. Everybody have a great night. And I'm like, she got the message. Like, I don't think there were any jokes there. Like it was, dude, stop. Cause I guess they got to pay him per word, which makes sense. But it's like, it's not funny. Just stop. Please stop. And DJ Khaled, you see his face a lot in the movie that he's in, but then you don't hear him that much. And I'm like, man, they're not even paying him to remember lines. That's pretty cool. You know, like, are you going to pay me to sit in a chair? Because part of it was him on a phone sitting in a chair. Like, that's cool. Why wouldn't you? Otherwise, I loved it. Great movie. DJ Khaled, you know, that was good stuff too. Always fun.
So I thought it was cool that the DJ Khaled cameo in that movie was there. That being said, and not to derail us too much,
Okay.
Pitch Perfect 3 is a fucking horrible ass
Oh,
movie.
wait. Okay, hold on.
A horrible ass movie.
Man, no, that's not fair. There's plenty to say on that. Okay, hold on. I met the I think she was like the head animator or something of DreamWorks. So she's no longer there, and she said this comment because someone was like, "Can you name a movie you really like?" You know, something like, "Do you like Frozen?" You know, stuff like that because she's an animator. And then she gave this response, and she's like, "People always ask me that, and I have worked on movies for like 10 years straight, like one movie for 10 years. And when that movie comes out, I don't need people to shit on that movie." So she was like, "It takes a lot of effort. So I'm not going to shit on anyone's movie because I know how hard it is. So I'm not going to answer that." And then she did compliment one movie. So I'm like, I guess the movie she's not complimenting is kind of what she's saying, you know? But Pitch Perfect 3, man, there's a lot of shit going on in there. I can't dump on them. Singing is still fun.
Yes.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, you know?
I'm going to challenge your example there in that you're talking to an animator from DreamWorks, right?
I believe
so
it's
she's
DreamWorks,
actually part of the industry.
Yes.
She's on the other side of it.
True. Yes.
Right? So she actually creates those kind of things, and in that case is somewhat related to another type of animated movie. So she's not going to dump on animated movies because she's part of that industry, she's part of that culture.
Yes.
Me, on the other hand, not
God.
there. I'm
Oh,
the
God.
goddamn consumer who has to pay the money to watch the movie. I'm the audience.
Okay, hold on. I agree with that. I do get where you're coming from. Having said that, for me, I got to talk about The Meg. Okay, so The Meg is a movie straight up big ass sharks. That's what it is. It's a movie about big ass sharks. So someone asked me, "Hey, did you like that movie? What'd you think?" or whatever. And I said, 11 out of 10. And they're like, "Come on, man. You know, don't troll us." And I'm like, "No, 11 out of 10. And they didn't understand. So I had to explain. Okay, I saw the trailer for The Meg. One, big sharks. You put big sharks on the screen or I will be pissed. Hey, plenty of big sharks. There's actually a scene where there's a big shark attacking the boat and you're like, whoa, man, that's so scary. And that shark gets eaten by a bigger shark. You're like, damn, that was awesome. And it was fun. It was just fun. Okay.
So, Jason Statham.
Yes, Jason Statham. No, you know, okay. Let me rephrase. 11 out of 10. And I don't like Jason Statham. So for
something's
me,
wrong with you.
I know.
I love Jason Statham. I couldn't see The Meg. I couldn't stand to watch The Meg. Now, granted, maybe I should watch it because I watched Crank, and that was a horrible ass movie. But Jason Statham was in it, so it was way better.
Okay, so there's a scene where, surprise, he does something ridiculous, and someone was like, "Fuck that bullshit," and I'm like, "Dude, this is The Meg. What'd you expect? What kind of realism did you expect in this movie?" So to not spoil that, just in case you guys haven't seen it, it's fun. But anyway, to not spoil that, there's another movie where Jason Statham, I'm assuming transporter, but there's a missile coming at him. Then he picks up a serving tray, not a shield made out of adamantium or vibranium, a fucking serving tray like any normal person would use. He picks up that tray and then he parries a missile. Me and my friends, we called that man Missile Parry because we didn't know his name. He parries a missile. And I'm like, what the fuck? Okay, so I see his face and my brain is like, hey, Missile Parry. So once again, The Meg, big ass sharks, yes. Missile Parry, yes. See, it was fine. It delivered. And I'm fine with that. You know, my beef is when I go to a movie and I don't get what I expected, and I'm like, dude, what the fuck is this? So here's a great example of that. Me and my friend, we're watching something a long time ago, and the trailer for Titanic comes up. And I remember this. Okay, so in the trailer, I believe it's the final scene. The ship breaks, people are falling, it's crazy, screaming. And I turned to my friend, me, a guy, and my guy friend, and I said to him, dude, I want to see that. And he's like, yeah, it looks good. Because it looked like an action movie in that trailer. And that's bullshit. You know that movie's not about action. You know, not traditional. And I'm just like, that's fucked up. See, that would have been like a 0 out of 10. And it's not that it's a bad movie. It's just, I came here with expectations. Shame on you. And the vice versa of that is The Meg, 11 out of 10. It's just fun. It's so much fun. I love animals. You know, seeing those fish and shit, man, it was so cool. There's a scene in the trailer where a big ass shark is swimming and there's all the people on the beach. They don't know what's going to get them. I'm like, oh man, that's such a cool shot. That movie is loaded with that stuff. It was great. Great movie, man.
So what you're saying is that The Meg you had expectations and it met your expectations.
Totally.
Jason Statham was
Yes.
you knew it was going to be ridiculous. You met that. I'm pretty sure that the Meg is probably like fucking under 50% of Rotten Tomatoes. Just my guess.
I have to assume.
Probably,
Yeah, I have to
right?
assume. Yeah.
Can you say the same about Pitch Perfect 3? Pitch Perfect
Okay,
3,
okay, hold on.
a lot of singing, right? I'm trying to bring it back, right? The singing,
yeah, totally,
good. Like,
yeah,
did you expect that? Did you expect them to have to go through a fucking spy movie and have to like
Okay.
face explosions and shit? Did you expect them to run into DJ fucking Khaled of anyone else they could have got in that movie, right? So I'll segue it back because in Pitch Perfect 2, which also wasn't a great movie, was better than Pitch Perfect 3, they brought in, to me, the big cameo of that movie was the Green Bay Packers. That was so off the wall. It was fucking hilarious.
Ridiculous.
And
yes.
the backstory is even better in that supposedly, I got to look this up maybe after the show, is that the Green Bay Packers, those guys, they actually lobbied to be in the movie because they actually like to do the acapella thing for fun.
Yes, I've heard the same. Well, I didn't know about the acapella thing, but the one I heard was they told someone like, yo, we want it. We don't care what we're doing. Put us in it. And then someone, I think, responded with, are you guys down to sing? And they're like, okay. I don't know if they actually acapella on their own.
Who knows? Maybe
really
they do, maybe
cool.
they don't. But whatever. The point is, I do remember reading that they lobbied to be in that movie. And when I saw that, I was like, holy shit, that's great. That was a great cameo, right?
Yes.
Now, that was a fantastic cameo. Pitch Perfect 2. Pitch Perfect 2, to me, also subpar movie. Not as bad as Pitch Perfect 3. DJ Khaled cameo in Pitch Perfect 3, it was okay. Did I expect it to happen? No. So was that cool that it happened? Yeah. But did the whole movie meet your expectations at that point? I don't know.
Ooh, hold on. Okay. Keeping it real. In the trailer, the woman, okay, I'll just call her Fat Amy because she is Fat Amy.
Rebel Wilson.
Yeah. Rebel Wilson, I believe, in the trailer jumps away from an explosion. So the trailer kind of tells you there's some weird shit going on. So I'm a little more okay with that. But to put it another way, I went in there. I wanted some music. It was there. I wanted some silliness. It was there. I'm okay. Not 11 out of 10 though. I will say that. The Meg, 11 out of 10. This would still be higher than low though. I enjoyed it.
Interesting.
You know?
See, I'm gonna have to agree with you in that I like the singing parts. That was good. It's just that once they went off the deep end and it became a completely different movie, like it's like they fired all the writers and changed and fucking halfway through, I was like, I'm done. Like I can hardly follow this anymore. This is too much.
Hold on. I got a comment on this. So sometimes in some movies, especially on the third movie, or Roro Monroe, anyway, especially in the third movie, the actor or actress will say, I'm done. You guys can go fuck yourselves. I got other stuff to do. And then people will be like, no, you got to be in it. You're like part of the cast. You got to be in it. I don't know if that happened with Pitch Perfect 3. It may have. And the reason why I mentioned that is I can see someone saying, I'm done. Guys, go away, please. And then they say, yo, what if we give you a scene with your dad and you like cry or he cries and you guys have a touching moment? Oh, okay, now I'm in, you know?
What if they're like,
I remember
we're going to put you in there with DJ Khaled.
That's cool too.
Maybe.
Hey man, you know, meeting him is cool, right? But okay, so here's the better example. So this is Doug the cartoon. I think Doug starts a band, but he's in a band or something. There's just band stuff going on. So first there's 4 members. And it's like, okay, it's cool. So let's do our main song. Hey, let's record it. Okay, cool, right? And then there's like 7 members, I think. I think it just kept growing. So one guy's a drummer. He's like, all right, I'm the drummer. Then they have a second drummer, and they're like, whoa, why do we have 2 drummers? Hey, just be cool, man. We'll work it out. So then one guy's like, man, this is our song. I need a guitar solo. Okay, fine. You get the guitar solo, go ahead. Why I need a drum solo? Okay, hold on. Then everyone needs their own solo, and it's like a 50-minute or 20-minute, whatever, super long ass song. There comes a point where someone needs to say, nah, that doesn't fit here, man. Get rid of that. I think Pitch Perfect 3 had chunks of that. Because the part where we're learning about someone's father, I remember thinking, why are we seeing this scene? That's kind of weird. There's a couple of things like that. It just seemed out of place. But I will say this. I love music. You know, I listen to a lot of music. I looked up some of the Pitch Perfect 3 stuff. And the final scene, they all get on stage because Becca's singing and they all get together. It's really nice. And I remember reading or hearing the commentary that last scene was shot last. So movies are often shot out of order. But that one, the creators or the powers that be, they decided to intentionally put that last because they knew all of the girls would be like sad, super sad. So there's a shot where one girl's singing, cut to the next girl singing, and it's cool because they're like harmonizing and stuff. So shot on the left, girl A. Shot on the right, girl B and C. But girl A is singing to like girl C, and then girl B, who I believe was Rebel Wilson, she's just bawling. She's bawling out her eyes. She's just crying and crying. And then cut to ABC all the way through F or whatever, all the characters smiling, everyone's smiling. So I'm like, oh, interesting. I think when they first shot that, she was crying so much they reshot it. Like that's how much they were invested in these characters, which is badass. I love that. You know, they cared so much. If I were to do that project and I knew it was my last, I'd be like, damn, man, I want to leave a good impression. I want to leave blah, blah, blah to it. Everyone wants the drum solo. Everyone wants the guitar solo. Well, I need a solo where I'm singing for 2 minutes alone, you know, like some shit. After a while, it just gets a little out of hand. And I think that's kind of what happened there.
So while you were going off, not that I wasn't listening, I agree with you. No, I agree with you 100%.
Okay.
Well, because I saw for Pitch Perfect 1, there was a bunch of YouTube videos that showed them going through what was called like a boot camp, like a show choir type boot camp. So they spent tons of time training on this stuff, and it was years. You know, these movies have gone through many years. In fact, there were a number of years between sequels. So what you're saying is completely on point. And that by the end, if you know it's the end and you've kind of spent like this decade or whatever it is, you know, with these actresses together, I could see the emotional grab. What I was doing on the side was I was looking up any kind of clue to where maybe DJ Khaled was a reason why they would get some of these people back, because some of them do music, but like Haley Steinfeld, for example. But as I look through the official soundtrack for Pitch Perfect 3, I do not see any DJ Khaled produced tracks or DJ Khaled tracks. So I guess the answer is fuck no. He's just there as a prop, and they probably have to pay him a shit ton of money. And from what I understand, I don't know this for sure because I heard this before and I don't know if this is true, but DJ Khaled was in that movie and he's like, yeah, I don't do scripts. I'm just going to kind of say whatever.
Oh, interesting.
He just does his thing. So, I mean, again, I can see to where he would be there sort of, because at the time when this was coming out is when he was blowing up too as a producer. So having him be like the real producer in there that was highlighted would be kind of cool. Again, Khaled, I don't think is a actor by trade. You know, if the article I'd read previously was true and he's like, yeah, I don't do lines, I just kind of make it up. He's not one to do big movie appearances in that case. He couldn't do one unless being himself like that. And it's just another example of if his main deal is producing music, but in order to highlight the fact that he produces music, he has to do all these other crazy shit things, like appear in Pitch Perfect 3, which is a fucking horrible movie, and do a Hot Ones interview to which he failed miserably, or make controversial statements and not respond to them later on, or apparently he Snapchatted his wife giving birth. I don't know where I read that, but maybe that's true, maybe that's not. But, you know, to do crazy shit like that, just to highlight the fact that, hey, I'm a DJ, and look at me, and I'm the producer. I may or may not have a singing role. I may or may not be able to do all these other things, but either way, he became super famous, right? He's not like a Pharrell who also does solo stuff and sings. He's DJ Khaled, and you know him because of DJ Khaled, and that's almost it if he didn't do these other things.
Interesting.
Going full circle, and I'm just gonna say this, and and you can comment on this too, and this is why I want to put this in before you jump on, is that the next time we have Jules Juke on this show, which is inevitable, I guarantee I can try to get her back on. We need to ask about the whole other industry promotion thing. Do you get that type of highlight as a DJ, or are you more of a background person? And does that then force you to have to do other things just to get that spotlight? Or do you even want that? Khaled apparently wants that. And it took me an hour to bring us back to the original point of, hey, Jules Juke and Khaled. Not that it was a huge comparison. We knew it wasn't going to be. But
sure.
There you go. Go ahead. Okay,
I got a couple of things. So the first thing is I was watching this show a long time ago, and it was about dating, or it was two people go on a date and then you watch like Fifth Wheel or whatever. There's a lot of those. So one of those shows was there's a guy and a girl, and I don't know who the girl was, but I guess she was a model or something. But the guy was Steve-O. So Steve-O, as in the guy who does crazy stuff like Kick Me in the Nuts, everyone laughs, that guy.
Jackass.
Yeah, Jackass guy. Yeah. So it was interesting because I think he was trying to be a normal guy for a bit, but it doesn't last, because for him, he likes to do fun stuff and hey, let him. I don't want anyone to ever kick me in the nuts, but some people clearly have fun with that. So hey, let him be, right? Anyway, one of the things I remember was I don't remember if she was in the middle of something or if he was in the middle of something, but he grabs a steak knife. So, like, it's a real thing from a real restaurant. He looks up and he starts balancing it on his nose, quite literally like a seal and a ball. And I remember thinking, what the fuck is happening right now? And I guess it was one of those shows where people could comment. And I think one of the comments was like, I think he's bored. He's bored with her, because he just starts doing his own thing. And the key here, and this is a big point, I don't think he was trying to impress her. It wasn't like, oh, this date's going south. I better wow this girl. It wasn't like that. I think it was just time to do weird stuff. One of which, if I remember correctly, was squirting a lemon into his own eye. I don't know the point of that, but hey, I also don't get kicked in the nuts. What I'm getting at is that's a man who enjoys that stuff. I hope he does. Good God, I hope he does. So when I think of DJ Khaled and the stuff that you're describing now, I also think of, and I hope I have the right group, the Gorillas. So Gorillas with a Z. Those guys, they're the never, ever, ever, ever see my face guys, right? Are those the guys?
I think so.
Okay, I think so. I think
or like Daft Punk is also like that. You referring not Daft Punk, right?
No. Whoa, there's two groups, but yes, Daft Punk.
Yeah.
Not Sia, because you actually get to see Sia's face, I think, which is odd. But anyway, so those people are like, my music is the shit. Please enjoy my music. By the way, I literally have no face. Don't even look at it.
No, yeah, you're right. You don't see their face either. Like, I just didn't know who you're referring to. But yes.
But now that I think about it, it's like, I think Khaled actually enjoys it. So that's kind of cool. Why not, right? He's having fun. I assume he's making money. I imagine the Hot Ones thing, even though, quote unquote, he failed the challenge, he got a lot of press, so maybe that helped him. I will say this because I know DJ Khaled, quote unquote, more. I've never heard of the Hot Ones prior to this bit of information. So that cross promotional, whatever you want to call it, that thing worked for me. Now I know there's something out there called the Hot Ones. I have to assume the opposite of that is true as well. Some dude who loves the shit out of the Hot Ones is like, who's this guy? So they like it still works, even quote unquote failing it. So I'm like, that's kind of cool. I'm okay with that. I imagine the people who aren't just don't, or the people who don't just aren't. I'll just go with Warren Buffett because he's the famous guy I'm thinking of right now. You see his face, but I also don't see him balancing a steak knife on his nose. You know what I mean? Like there's different levels of that. There's different levels of wanting to be out there. And Khaled strikes me as a guy who wants to. So, hey, let it be. I imagine it brings him more money.
I'm with you 100%. And it's pretty obvious by the antics that he does want to be out there. I mean, that's just the way to do it. And apparently it works.
Yeah.
And in that case, there's really nothing wrong with it because it works.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. And it's cool. Gets his name out there. Oh, okay. In that same sense, I think I know his face from commercials. I think he's done enough of commercials. That's how I know his face. Because I definitely don't know his videos.
I'm pretty sure that's probably the case too. I can't pinpoint one, but guarantee.
All right, Chris, I'm going to throw this at you. So I'll get your opinion, all right? So let's say you're a famous whatever, maybe a singer, right? And then someone says, hey, man, I make lawnmowers. All right, Chris, I'm going to pay you a large amount of money to use my lawnmower. So now, are you that guy? Or is it, hell no, integrity, blah, blah, blah? Or is it, pay me the money. I'll fucking use a lawnmower. I'll push this button to make soda come out.
Well, me personally, in that, again, I compare it to YouTube creators, right? You can see the ones that take ads in certain spaces and what happens to them. Now, once again, modeling the same phrase I used earlier, dealing in authenticity. If I don't believe in the product that I'm advertising, I don't think I could do it.
Ooh. Okay. So let's say, all right, go ahead. Favorite soda?
Favorite soda?
Yeah.
Coke Zero, I guess.
Coke Zero. Okay. Let's say the Coke people are like, yo, man, I'm going to pay you a lot of money for this. You like Coke Zero. Let's just do it. Then your agent says, no, Chris, you're a singer, man. Stop with the commercials. Would it be, man, fuck off. I like Coke Zero. Which would it be?
So having never had that experience in my life, I would say, fuck off. Okay. I like Coke Zero. I'll do it.
Okay. The reason why I say all of that is because I'm reminded of a quote that I really like, and I don't remember the quote perfectly, but so this is after Vanilla Ice was famous, like he's just way less famous at this point, and someone asked him like, what's up, man? How come you did all that? Like, you're like a sellout or something negative. And the Vanilla Ice says, dude, if someone said, I will pay you $1 million to dance on that stage, would you take the million? I'm like, fuck yeah, man, I suck at dancing. And yes, I will go dance on a stage if you pay me $1 million. You know, like, because he got a lot of shit. But the flip side is, I'm pretty sure the majority of the people I know, they do the exact same thing. You know?
Probably.
Yeah.
And we bring it back. I'm sure to some degree, as the examples that we've shown, Khaled did the same fucking thing.
I don't fault him. That's my point, though. I don't fault him for a lot of it, actually. So
Me neither.
Yeah.
Me neither. Oh boy, this has been quite the wild ride, I will say. For those out there that are still listening, thank you for making it to the end of the episode and coming along with us on this journey as we went from DJ Khaled to the Meg to whatever the hell else. But the point is, it was interesting to see how you build this persona, whether through your actual craft or whether through loosely related things, whether good or bad, that still in the end could benefit you. It's very interesting. This has been the How's It Cousins podcast, where we take a look at that kind of shit, the crazy and unique people of the world, and these interesting things that they actually do. We're talking about them. We're relating to them. Like I said, I could not do all of those things. Fuck. But hopefully you could relate to this too, listening to this show. If you like what you hear, please check out our other episodes on all the popular podcast services, Apple, iTunes, Google, Spotify, Stitcher, everything under the sun. If you want to see more of what we're doing, we're part of the Housing Network. Check out housingtnetwork.com. Any of our new stuff goes up there. Follow us on social media. Hopefully, we got some cool stuff for you there at Housing Network, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram.
And if you like that Alvin goodness, please visit alohalvin.com. I write like how I speak. And if you enjoyed me today, I'm sure you enjoyed the site.
Me personally, I'm at How's It Chris on Twitter. If you're lucky, maybe I got a post up there soon if I'm not trying to edit this episode so Alvin just says fuck, 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 fuck over and over again.
That's my theme song. Yeah.
Apparently. Thank you all very much for lending us your beautiful ears. And just remember, it's not goodbye. We shall see you later.